patrolling the perimeter, probably. Gonky and all, what is the longest time you have sat in the cockpit flying?
Mover.
Me? 7 point something, 7.5, 7.6.
Yeah, I did another hour. I did 8.5.
Wombat's been in, he's still there. He's sitting in the cockpit right now.
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, hey, Wombat, what Hawkeye or Hornet? Which airplane were you stuck in longer? Like which airplane did you have the longest mission?
Equal, actually. Equal.
Really?
I've done a 6.5 in both.
And
that was my longest. And the Hawkeye was on fumes.
Yeah, no tanking in the Hawkeye, right?
The Hawkeye was the one that I almost flamed out. Yeah. That was the one with your story where I thought you had crashed.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that story. So
I
that
sure
was Yeah, I legitimately went on that flight because I thought you were in the water and I was going to somehow save my friend.
Did you go to Guam?
I did not go to Guam. We went back to the ship. That was when we launched off the ship and CAG was like, he comes up and he's like, Wombat. He's like, you tell me exactly. It was, the CAG.
Oh, yeah,
so, He goes, you tell me exactly how long you could stay airborne. And I was like, we had min fuel, right? Like you had to be under a certain weight, but then we had like min fuel for landing, barricade landing. Yeah. And I was like, well, sir, how low do you want me to go? And he goes, I don't think I stuttered. He goes, you're going to get one look at the ball and I'm not rigging that damn barricade. How long can you stay airborne? And I was like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had low fuel
lights on for like the last over an hour.
I just love this bromance that's brewing over here.
It's not bromance.
Dude, I legitimately thought.
Is this all we're doing tonight? Is just reminiscing about every story between your
it's a
careers?
Good story, though. I mean, it really is.
So we were in 2 different carriers.
Yeah,
hundreds of miles AOR, and we got word on our ship that 2 Hornets from Gonky's ship had hit each other. For whatever reason, call it, friendship, whatever. I felt like it was Gonky. And so they needed us to launch on an alert, and we got airborne in like 15 minutes, which is unheard of in an E2. Scrambled a crew, got up there, launched, went max conserve. And the guys in the back and a girl did a great job. They coordinated, I forget how many tankers. It was a stupid number of 3 and 5 wets, like stupid, like well past like normal double digits. Like it was because it was off both ships. They were stringing tankers out.
We were blue water ops.
Yeah, you had you're either, the trip to Guam. And then, so no kidding, like we do this whole thing and I still think it's Gonky. And then it was later on that I found out it wasn't Gonky, but you were supposed to go fly on that flight.
Yep.
But you got sick or something and you sat the desk. And the ironic part is the person who did go fly became my XO in my Hornet squadron.
Yep.
So that story's in Treason Flight.
Where's the true love's kiss part?
Dude, sometimes you just care about your bros. All right.
No, the moral of the story here, Wombat, is there's no pilot landing minimums.
No,
like there are in the Air Force,
dude. I remember too, because the guy who was flying with me, like we came back, CAG was like, tell us when you have low fuel lights, right? And I'm like, okay. So we told him, and he's like, I thought you could tell me you could stay airborne for another hour. I was like, my math says I can, but we got low fuel lights. And no kidding, we were coming down and we're coming out of the Marshall stack straight in. And CAG's like, I don't want you being one of those hotshot LSOs. He goes, you take every wire they give you. He's like, don't miss them. And my co-pilot looks over at me and he's like, did CAG just tell you could fly a bad landing? And I was like, sounds like it to me. And I mean, dude, as soon as I was over steel, it was just idle. Like that plane floated. It was so light. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. That was rough, dude. That was a rough night. I thought I was going in the water that night.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mover.
I hope my mom's not watching because if she never heard that story, she's going to be pretty upset right now. Actually, hey, Mom, your son almost died that time.
Again.
Anyway. Again.
Bob says, Gonky, aren't you offended that there's an incident and Wombat just automatically assumes it's you?
No, that's called friendship, Bob. We know each other's strengths, weaknesses.
True love's kiss. You think his weakness is flying?
I didn't
Bob,
You
I'm
hear
not-
this app and you're like, it's Gonky. That's fine.
For
It's
sure.
Gonky. This time
Well,
it's him.
Okay,
Did
so
you never have that intuition, like with things that happen, where you just
Well,
have that
I
feeling?
hate everybody. I didn't know
No, no,
Gonky
no, no.
back then. I had no
No.
such intuition.
no,
Mover,
so
I was
like,
talking to Gonky.
no, but it's
Of
like this.
course you were.
So mover,
Of
like,
course you
so, for example, like anytime we had an accident at NAS Lemoore, I would always like text my family back home, like, "Hey, I'm okay," just
Sure.
because, like, your
Dude.
friends and family don't know, right? They see
Yeah,
they
T-38.
Right.
I can't. How many people are like
Right.
T-38 has crashed at Beale? Hey, mover, are you alive?
okay?
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
I
They're
don't.
like barely emotionally, but it has nothing to do with the jet
Right.
crash.
Yeah, I'm just hanging on here.
yeah. I mean,
Just
that like
hanging on.
there's your friends and family think that like, there's not.
Dude, it's no different like when your mom hears about a storm rolling through the state that borders the state that you live in, and she's like, "Hey, how's the weather?" It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's fine.
So
That's
you're
what's great
telling
about
me
family.
you're not Wombat, you're Mombat.
No, do not. Dude, I'm going to get another angry text because that was my mom's call sign. In our E2 squadron, that was her call sign. They all called her Mombat, and she
Dude,
loves
there's
it.
so many mom jokes
Are you
here.
serious?
Watch
That's
me, I can't
awesome.
say
She
them.
loves it. Mhm.
I
That's
can't.
awesome.
When I went to my Hornet squadron and they
Oh,
wanted
boy,
to
here we
change
go.
my call sign, she was the most upset. She's like, "Well, if they change your call sign, are they still going to call me Mombat?" I'm like,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
yes.
please.
It
It's just Gonky and Wombat, Hornet multi-crew. Who's the Wizzo?
I know this. Neither. We both sit in front. Easy.
I told laps, dude. This bromance is going way too far. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
I'm sorry that you don't have one.
Douglas, where you at, man?
I think he's left the chat.
I'm Alfred to his Batman.
Yeah.
Laura,
The Gonky and Womab show.
That's fine.
Picture and mover.
It's fine.
Womabs show. Listen, Womabs. This was last week that I was not available. This week, I'm back.